everyone, so I'm back again with another video, and as promised I have my new video series that I will be starting firstly with this episode here, in which I will be doing store reviews of different stores in the city of Toronto that sell things like video games, comic books, toys, and other stuff like that, to give you guys an idea of where I go, where I find the stuff that I do find. And to sort of get an idea if you're planning on either visiting the city of Toronto and want to do some shopping, or if you live in the city of Toronto and you'd like to venture out and try a couple of new stores that you might have not been to before. So in the first video here, I'm going to be talking about pretty much the preeminent store when it comes to retro video games in the city of Toronto, and that is, of course, A&C Games. Now, many people have heard about A&C in the past, whether or not they are serious retro collectors. But for me, it's been several years since I've been going to their store. They actually moved to a larger location now, and they are able to definitely do a lot more than they used to do in the past in a lot more room. So basically, before I get to the actual review, I'm going to show you guys a little bit of what the store looks like. So here you go. So as you saw, that was my walkthrough of A&C, what you can expect to see in store if you go and visit. It is a very large store with lots of shelves and lots of products to choose from. And especially what I did not show in the videos, though, was that they also have a gaming setup in the back of the store where you can pay a little bit of a fee. I think it's just a couple dollars. And you can sit down and play sort of like fighting games and stuff like that. And they also host different gaming tournaments in the back there every so often. And on the other side of the store in the back, they have a card gaming area where you can also purchase different trading cards like Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, and a whole bunch of other games that I'm not too familiar with. Now, as for the rest of the store, what you kind of expect is that, of course, there's going to be a lot of retro games, and they do have a wide variety of retro games to choose from, going from cartridge games to disc-based games. Anything that you could possibly want to get, they have it there. Even more obscure things that most people don't collect for, like TurboGrafx, Sega Saturn, Master System games. They have a selection of just about everything. Even a lot more obscure things like 3DO and CDI, even CDI, which I'm still surprised to this day that they even have any games for it. They do manage to have some every once in a while. Now, this store here, what I do like about them as well is that they do have a lot of import games. So if you are looking for a game from either Europe or Japan, but almost always more likely from Japan, they do have a wide selection to choose from as well for many different consoles, including handhelds as well. And I've been sort of surprised by some of the games that I've seen there in the past. And their prices are also not too bad, especially if there are games where the North American version might cost a lot more, but the Japanese version is still playable on a North American console, it's always the best bet to go with the Japanese version of it, just because it will be cheaper, and for the most part, a couple of menus might be a little difficult to maneuver through, but if it's a simple enough game, then it should be easy enough to play, especially fighting games. If you can get the Japanese version of the fighting game instead there, it'll usually be cheaper for the Japanese version than the North American version. When it comes to their pricing on North American games, though, I find that, of course, it is a retail store and they do have notoriety, so they can charge a little bit more than you would like to spend, but at times their prices can be a little difficult to deal with. Definitely some games that are harder to find, you do end up paying more and more for them. But for example, one game that I'm probably going to use as a sort of marker to give you guys an idea of what games cost at different stores is Super Smash Bros., especially Super Smash Bros. On the N64. Last that I checked, it was at around $80 to $90 for a North American copy there, and I think that that is definitely on the steeper end. They do have, though, a lot of high quality, harder to find, extremely rare games, and even just games that have maintained or increased their value over the years. They do have everything that you could possibly want to get, especially like generic titles that everybody's after but are still valuable because there's a lot of want for them. They do have them, and at the end of the day, if money's not a question, definitely go out to A&C. Go to A&C if there is pretty much anything obscure that you might want. There's a really good chance that they will have it. But when it comes to trading, trade credit especially, I don't really recommend them for trade credit. They haven't given... I'll say this. You should expect a certain percentage of whatever it is that you're trading in to get back as trade credit. Usually you get a little bit more in trade credit than you would if you were just trying to sell it to them. Typically what I expect of most stores is in the 30 to 50% range for trade credit, and typically they're on the lower end of that scale. Now, it depends on what kind of items you're trading in, the quality, of course. There's multiple concerns that go into how they decide to give you trade credit, but considering that their prices are a little on the higher end for some games, you do typically expect to get a little bit more in trade credit than you would get from other stores, but it's not a 100% fact there, because it is down to case-by-case basis when it comes to trade-ins. But overall, the store, definitely the atmosphere, the products that they have available, and the services that they have available are definitely reasons to sort of go to the store. Aside from the video games, aside from the trading cards, they do also have a selection of electronic games and action figures, and especially Skylanders and those kinds of video game action figure hybrids. Not too certain what to categorize those as, but they do have a selection of toys, sort of recent toys and older toys as well, including some statues, collector's editions from different video games, and they also have a selection of t-shirts and plushes as well. So it is a sort of well-rounded store as to what kind of products they have available. It's in a central location that I will have linked in the description below. I'll put like a Google Maps link for it. It is located on Spadina, just south of College, which, at least for downtown Toronto, that's a pretty easy location to get to. Definitely a little bit more difficult than their last location, which used to be just about a block south from Bloor and Spadina, but it is still really, really easy to get there, and their new location is definitely much larger. They've been there for, I want to say, over a year now, probably maybe 2 years at this point. But my memory of their switching locations is a little foggy right now. But definitely, this is the store that you're going to want to go to. If you're having a hard time locating a specific game, go to A&C, try calling them first, see if they have it, and there's a good chance that they will have the game that you're looking for. Like I've said before, if it's an issue of the price, it's going to be a little bit difficult, but you could always try trading stuff towards your purchase as well, because they do have that option, and they do buy stuff constantly every day off of people. And that's pretty much all that I have to say about A&C right now, my sort of experience with their store, with what they have available. It's pretty much the go-to store if you're desperately looking for one specific item, and especially if it's a rare item to find. But yep, that's it. As always, leave comments in the comment section below. Anything you'd like to say, comments, questions, suggestions, ideas, anything at all, just put it in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Also, if there are any other stores that you would like me to review, be it gaming store, toy store, comic book store, record store, any kind of store really in the city of Toronto that caters to collectors, just let me know in the comment section below, and I'll try my best to put together a video for you. And also keep in mind that my 500 subscribers contest is still going on. We're almost to 500 subscribers at this point, so once we get there, I will be raffling off the prize to whoever it is that wins. And that's it. See ya.